Hello and welcome to another video that you can practice at home. So we will get started today with another class. We will start with a warm up, the main body of our class, and then a cool down again at the end. So we'll start by bringing both legs together. We'll squeeze our calves together, squeeze our thighs together, standing up nice and tall, wide through the shoulders. We'll take a breath in and let that air come forward into our ribs, into the side of our ribs, breathing into our back as well. On the out breath, pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Imagine blowing out some candles. We'll take a breath in again. We want to fill the chest first, then the belly button. On the out breath, imagine your belly button sliding up towards your ribs, blowing out the candles again. We'll do two more rounds there, getting in control, getting in touch with our breath, finding our center, ready for the rest of the class. We've got one more breath there. Still standing tall, as wide as we can with the shoulders, and breathing out. We'll turn our toes apart so our feet are in a V shape, bring our heels through so our feet are in parallel. We'll bring one hand onto your tummy, one hand on your lower back, and then softening gently through your knees. We'll tuck your tailbone under and arch it back the other way. And we'll make this movement as big as we comfortably can for these first few. Might feel a bit strange or a little bit juddery in the back, but that's quite normal. We'll start to reduce that movement now, a little bit less each time, till we are somewhere in the middle of those two movements. Feels nice and comfortable for you. We'll bring our hands next to your sides and then straighten through the legs. Rising up onto your toes. We'll lower down and then see if we can lift the toes away from the floor. Keep repeating through those two positions whilst trying to keep the pelvis in the same position as we did before. We're making these calf raises as big as possible, bringing awareness to each part of the foot as we roll through. So we feel the connection between the floor and our heels, then the outside edge of the foot, then the ball of the toes as we rise up, and the same on the way down. Again, we'll start to make these movements a little bit less each time, not lifting quite as high, until we're just rocking backwards and forwards through our feet. We've got both feet equal on the floor in pressure. We'll take our body weight as far forwards as we can, and then as far back as we can. We'll come all the way forwards again. And then again, we want to stop about halfway. So your weight should feel like it's over your arches. We'll keep that position in our feet, we'll keep the position in our pelvis, and this time we're going to shrug our arms up to our ears, rolling our shoulders backwards. Last one, and then we'll reverse our direction, we'll bring them forwards. We'll bring our hands up onto our shoulders, take our elbows backwards, as big as is comfortable for you to go. And then we'll reverse and take our elbows forwards. We're trying to keep the rest of the body as still as possible, softening any tension that we feel around our knees. Bringing our arms long to our sides, we're breathing in as we reach up to the front, breathing out to come round to the sides. Same thing again, the rest of the body staying really still. Two more. And last one, reach the hands away from you. And we will reverse again. So we'll breathe up to the sides, breathing out to the front. We're isolating the movement of our shoulders from the rest of the body. Last one. Breathing in, breathing out. We'll bring our left arm up to shoulder height and we'll reach across. We're keeping our belly button over the center of our body. Turn that hand over, bring it overhead and sliding down the opposite leg. Coming back to the center, we'll do the same thing on the opposite arm, lifting it up to shoulder height. Keep the belly button in the center, reach the arm across, Turn it over, reaching overhead, sliding down the opposite leg. Coming back to the middle, we'll do one more on each side, going back to your left arm, turning your hand over, bringing it overhead, sliding down the opposite leg, and the same thing on the right arm, reaching across, turning your hand over, making yourself as long as possible with that arm, sliding over to the sides. We'll bring the arms resting one on top of the other, taking a breath in to get ready. Breathing out as we twist over to one side, taking a breath in at the end there, and then breathing out to come all the way over to the other side. Breath in again, breathing out, coming back to that first side, arms staying nice and high. Breathing in again, breathing out to come back to the center. We'll let the arms relax down, bring your chin to your chest, and then roll your chin across from one shoulder to the other side. And we'll keep repeating from side to side. Last one. And then we'll bring the head back to the center and looking straight ahead. When you're ready, we'll come to lie on your mat on the front, on your front. There we go. So we will take a second to find our setup. So we're going to rest our arms down onto our forehead first of all. We'll take a moment to make sure we can feel the front of our hips heavy onto the floor. And we'll think about pulling our belly button up away from the floor. So if you had an imaginary grape or a blueberry underneath your belly button, you're going to try and lift that blueberry, lift your belly button up above that blueberry. We're keeping the head rested down to start with, and we're alternating with our leg lifts. So we want the leg to be as long as we can, a nice straight knee. Alternating from side to side. We're breathing out as we lift, breathing in as we lower. Breathing out to lift, in to lower. We're thinking more about height than we are about, we're thinking more about length than we are about height. As long as that leg is straight, we're imagining someone pulling the leg away from us. The height doesn't matter. It's all about length. We'll keep alternating from side to side. We've got one more on each side, and then we'll let the legs relax down. We're going to bring the arms straight out in front of us. Bring our forehead down onto the mat. And this time we're going to do the same thing, but alternating the arms. So we're lifting our thumb up towards the ceiling, lowering it down, and then lifting the opposite arm. So try and keep that head relaxed down. Again, the height might not be very much with the arms, but as long as you've got a nice straight elbow, thumbs are facing up to the ceiling, then that's okay. So we're breathing out as we lift, in as we lower. Alternating from side to side, isolating our shoulders from the rest of the body. Last one on each side. And then we'll bring our arms on either side of us on our mat. We're bringing our chin to our chest, forehead facing down, and then we're lifting the chest up. These first few, we'll start without lifting the arms. Breathing out as we lift, in as we lower. We only want to lift as high as we can go before our bottom starts to squeeze. Keep going there. And if you're ready, on the next one, we'll take it on a step. So you can either keep working there with just the arm and leg lifting and lowering, or if you want to add our next level, the chest lifting and lowering, sorry, or if you want to add our next level on, gonna lift the arms with the chest. Eyes still looking down at the mat, chin tucked in slightly. We're breathing out as we lift, breathing in as we lower. Well done, keep going. Breathing out to lift, in to lower. We've got 2 more. Perfect. We'll bring the hands back down, bring the head back down to relax, and we're going to bend alternating knees. So we're going to bring our heel in towards our bottom, take the leg away. What we want to do is control this knee bend so we don't get a kind of rebound effect through the body. So if I bring my knee in really fast, we can see that we get this kind of rebound that makes my chest move, it makes my arms move, whereas we want to just lift nice and controlled, bring that leg down, we'll swap to the other leg, so heel pulling into the bottom, the rest of the body stays still, lower the leg down. Back to the first side, heel pulling in, lower the leg down, alternating from side to side, isolating that movement of the knee and the leg from the rest of the body. Pulling the heel in, breathing out, let the leg lower, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in as we lower. If you feel like you've got good control there, you're not getting that bouncing or rebounding, then we will lift both legs together. So we'll pull the heels in, again, only to the point before we get that rebound effect, then lower the legs down. So this is your second option, either bending the knees together or doing one at a time. So we're breathing out as we lift the legs, breathing in as we lower them down. The trick is to try and keep the rest of the body as still as possible. The feet are flexed as we pull them in, toes are pointed as we take them away. Feet flexed, pulling in, toes pointed, take them away. Breathing out, lifting the legs. Breathing in, lowering. Breathing out, lifting. Breathing in, lowering. We've got one last one here. And then we'll add our final layer to this exercise. So our options here, if we don't want to add this final layer, are to do our single leg kicks, alternating from side to side. If that's comfortable, you can try the double leg kicks. Or if you are feeling like you want to give this final level a try, we'll bring the arms back next to the side. We're going to lift the chest, lift the arms, and then we'll do the same thing, kicking the legs. So we're holding the chest up, we're pulling the feet in with flexed feet, pointing the toes, taking them away. Breathing out as we lift the legs, breathing in as we lower them. We should be working on the strength of our back muscles here. So you might feel a bit of tiredness or fatigue in the muscles on either side of the spine. We've got the chin tucked in slightly, eyes focused down on the mat, hands hovering, chest hovering. Remembering to breathe, we're breathing out as we bring the legs in. Breathing in as we drop them down. We've got two more. Still avoiding that rebound, trying to keep the rest of the body as still as possible. The last one. Drop the legs down, drop the head down, drop the arms down, and take a breath there. Well done. When you're ready, we'll turn over onto your back. And we'll take a second just to find our start position first of all. So we've got our back resting onto the mat. We've got the back of our hips heavy onto the mat. We've got our feet together. We're going to turn our toes apart, then bring our heels through so our feet are in parallel. We're relaxing any tension that we feel in our shoulders down onto the mat, hands resting lightly. We're going to start with our hip twist. So we're going to bring one leg out to the side, bring it back in, and then swap to the other side. We're using this exercise to start to warm up into our control and how we isolate our legs from our core, and we can move our bodies through movements in isolation. So we want that other leg to be as still as possible. If you find that as you're dropping the leg down, the other hip is lifting, then we need to make the movement a bit smaller. So rather than letting the hips twist and roll with the legs, we want to keep them glued down onto the mat. So just make the movement a bit smaller until you feel like you can keep that control. We're alternating from side to side, the other leg staying as still as we can possibly make it, but a little bit of wobble is okay. We're still working up to it. Lovely. We'll do one more on each side. That's number one. And our final one here. Bring that leg back up. We're bringing one leg up into our single leg tabletop. So we've got 90 degrees in our hip, 90 degrees in our knee. We're doing the same thing, letting that leg drop out to the side, bringing it back up. Relax the ribs down onto the mat, remembering to breathe as well. So we're breathing out as we lift, as we drop the leg out to the side, breathing in as we bring it back up. Breathing out, dropping it to the side, breathing in, lifting back up. We've got two more on this leg. Breathing out, drop to the side, breathing in, pull it back up. And the last one. Relax the shoulders, relax any tension gripping through the hands. Bring that leg back to the center, drop it down onto the mat, and we will do the same on the other side, lifting it up into single leg tabletop first. We're dropping that leg out to the side. We're bringing it back to the center, dropping it out to the side, bringing it back to the center. The same things apply if we're rolling over to the side as we drop the leg over. We need to make the movement a bit smaller so we can maintain that control. The control is more important than the range of motion. Breathing out, dropping the leg to the side. Breathing in, pull it back to the center. We've got two more. Last one. Bring the leg back down. This time we're going to go back to the first leg, but we're going to add our arms in as well. So we're lifting our first leg back into single leg tabletop. This time as we drop the leg away, we're dropping the opposite arm out to the side. Bring them back in together. Opposite arm and leg, bringing them back in. We're breathing out as we drop the legs away. Breathing in as we pull them back. We've got two more. Try and keep that other leg as still as possible. Last one. Bring the leg back in. We'll swap over to the other hand. We're bringing that leg up to single leg tabletop first. We're dropping it out to the side as we take the other knee to the side. Bring them back in together. Same thing again, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Keep that other foot flat onto the floor. Keep the rest of the body as still as we can, remembering to breathe. Our last one, breathing out, dropping the leg out. Breathing in, pulling it back up. We'll drop the leg down and then bring one leg into your chest. Slide the other one away. Really give it a hug if you want to. Then we will swap over. Bring the other leg into the chest. Slide the first leg away. And again, bring that leg in towards your chest. We'll take that leg back to the mat. We'll bring both feet into our start position. So we'll take our feet together, turn the heels apart, bring the feet, turn the toes apart, then bring the heels through. We'll bring one leg up into single leg tabletop. And if it's comfortable, we'll bring the other leg up. So this is our option, is straightening one leg away, pulling it in, straightening the other leg away, pulling it in. Well, imagine there's a big red button on the corner of the room between the wall and the ceiling, and we're pointing our toes to try and reach that button. We're breathing out as we take the leg away, breathing in as we bring it back. So that's one option. If that's feeling like it's a little bit much for you today, then we can bring one foot down onto the mat and we are reaching with one leg. So if you're going with both legs from double leg tabletop, you have two more on each leg. And if you're doing single leg reaches, then we'll turn and swap to the other side. Our final ones here. And then we'll bring one leg down, bring the opposite leg into your chest, bring them both in, give both legs a hug. You could rock from side to side or separate the knees slightly to feel a stretch in the inner thigh. We'll bring the legs back down. And we've got our final option here, final deep core work. So we'll bring the hands behind our head. And we have three levels depending on how you want to work today. So either we can leave the feet onto the mat as we lift into our abdominal preps. So we're curling up, looking through our knees. So that's level one, both feet flat. Level two is to bring one leg up into single leg tabletop, lifting up, looking through to our knees, then lowering down. Or level three is to have both legs lifted, squeeze the legs together, and again we're reaching up through the core, looking at our knees, breathing out as we lift, in as we lower. So choose whichever version feels best for you. In all versions, breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. As you're breathing out, you're still imagining pulling the belly button down towards the floor, down towards your spine, and releasing off as you lower. We've got three more. 2 and 1. We're lowering the head down, bring one leg down, then the other. We'll turn onto your side, bringing the arms out in front of you, drawing your big circles up overhead, reaching your chest round to the ceiling, bringing the arm through the gap over on top of the other hand. Then our next circle up. Again, make that circle as wide as possible. Bring the arm over. And our final one there. Feel that stretch. Open through the chest. Feel the stretch in the shoulder, stretch in the spine. Bring the arms together. We'll come up onto your side, resting on your elbow. And we want to make sure that our ribs are lifted up away from the floor. We're bringing one arm through the gap, reaching through to the wall behind us, opening the chest up to the ceiling. Take a look at your hand. Bring that arm through the gap, reaching to the wall behind you, opening up, ribs stay lifted away from the bench. Last one, arm reaching through the gap to the wall behind you. Following your hand up to the ceiling, showing the chest to the ceiling. We'll bring that arm down and we'll push up and turn over onto your other side. Same thing, our nice open circles, hands together, head resting down. We're drawing that first circle overhead, rotating through the chest, arms coming back together, hands touching, taking the next circle up and over. And last circle there, make it as big as feels comfortable for you to do. We'll bring the hands back together and then we'll push up onto your side for our side lying thread the needles again. So we'll bring your arms through the gap. Our ribs are lifted up away from the couch. We're opening the arm to the ceiling, reaching through that gap underneath us again. We can take a breath in, breathing out, open the chest upwards. Breathing in for our last one, reach the arm through the gap underneath you. Breathing out, open the chest upwards. We'll push off of our side and come into a seated position. We've got both legs out straight. We'll bring one leg on top of the other and we'll reach down towards the straight leg, towards the ankle. We'll imagine folding forwards from the hips to imagine our forehead touching onto our kneecap. Take a breath in there. Breathing out. One last stretch. And then we'll come to sit upright again. Keep that leg crossed over. We'll bring the foot flat down onto the bench and then twist away across that bent leg. Open the chest to the wall behind you, sitting up as tall and as straight as possible. We'll come back to the center, uncross the legs, cross them over the other way. Leg coming on top of, or ankle coming on top of the straight leg. We're reaching down towards that bent leg, taking a breath in. Breathing out a little bit further down the leg if we can reach. Our forehead, imagining coming down towards our kneecap. Last breath there. Coming back to the center. We'll keep that leg crossed over, bring the foot down onto the mat. We'll turn our chest past the knee, sitting up nice and tall, stretching through the upper back. And coming back to the center. We'll bring the legs slightly wider, a little bit easier if you're on the mat on the floor. We'll breathe out, reaching the hands through the gap in the middle, feeling the stretch through the back of the legs and the inner thigh. One last breath in And out, reaching a little bit further if you can. And then sitting up nice and tall. When you're ready, we will come to standing for our final stretches of the class. So we'll take a second just to find our start position. So we've got our feet together first. We'll turn our toes apart, bring our heels through. We'll bring our chin to our chest and just roll across from one shoulder to the other. One more time in each direction. Coming back to the middle, we'll lace our fingers together, bring them up to shoulder height. Imagine that you're holding a big beach ball. Bring your chin to your chest. Push the back of your hands away from you. We'll bring our hands to the floor. Take a deep breath in, pulling up. Breathing out, pushing down. Breathing in, lifting them up to the ceiling. Take a look. Breathing out and round to the sides. Fingers laced together again for the final time. Breathing in, pulling up. Breathing out, pushing down. Breathing in, reaching up to the ceiling. Breathing out, round to the sides. And we will finish class there for today. Well done.